He's considered the greatest athlete in history, a three-time world champion, a boxer who became a legend in the rings and in the fight for civil rights for black people in the USA. In today's episode of The Hero's Journey, we'll tell the story of Cassius Clay, but you may know him as Muhammad Ali. Do you know how a poor boy from Louisville suburbs entered the Boxing World Hall of Fame? It all started thanks to a stolen bicycle. One beautiful day, Cassius Clay and a friend went to the city center to participate in a social event where there was a free food and leisure activities. When they arrived, they left their bicycles outside and went to enjoy the delicious food offered at the event without having to pay anything. But the result was a significant loss for the two young men. Deciding to leave, they realized their bikes had been stolen and had no way to get home. Cassius went to a local police station to report the theft, but he was so angry that he threatened the unknown criminal, saying if he found someone riding his bicycle, he would give them a big beating. Fortunately, or by fate, the police officer who listened to the angry boy's threats was also a boxing coach. Feeling sympathetic towards Cassius, who had just been robbed, he offered to give him some boxing lessons. That's how at 12, Cassius had his first coach and began his boxing training. In just a few years standing out in amateur championships and showing a lot of skill in fighting, he was called up to participate in the Olympics in Rome in 1960. At just 18 years old, Cassius surprised the world with his unique fighting style, combining agility, technique, and speed. He won the final by unanimous decision and returned home with a gold medal, as well as being hailed as a new American hero. However, the contrast in treatment he received after his Olympic success sparked deep reflections on how black people were treated in his country, where they always had to prove their worth to be respected and have more dignity. Cassius, even very young, already had a critical view of society and its contradictions. This worldview was one of the main characteristics of the fighter, who was not afraid to politically position himself to express his sincere opinions. Cassius Clay shocked the boxing community and had a brilliant career. He won the first of his 3 world titles when he was just 22 years old in 1964. It was also in that year that Cassius converted to Islam and stopped using his baptismal name to adopt a new name, Muhammad Ali. It was with this new name that he became known and consecrated around the world. During his professional career, he went 32 fights in a row until suffering his first setback against Joe Frazier in 1971. And what's even more surprising is that Ali didn't take long breaks between fights, maintaining a high turnover and did not choose opponents. He won against anyone who challenged him. His fights were marked by irreverence, where he easily dodged the opponents, seemed to dance in the rings, and landed powerful punches that knocked out his opponent. His successful fighting career helped Ali popularize boxing, bringing great confrontations to different continents. For example, Ali fought in Switzerland, Ireland, Germany, Malaysia, Japan, the Philippines, and other countries. Interestingly, he was always greeted with celebration by the people of these countries and increasingly consolidated his image as a global idol. One of the main reasons for this high popularity was also the fact that Muhammad Ali was a man who maintained his humility despite the fame. He was a man of the people who wanted a more equal world, without prejudice, and understood that he needed to be an accessible figure to everyone. He sought to hold open training camps to the public, was patient in receiving fans to take photos and give autographs, participated in charity events, and rarely denied an interview. He walked with just one bodyguard for precaution, but was always open to spontaneous public approaches. Besides setting his own example in practice, seeking to put himself as an equal footing with the people he met, Ali also had a deep social consciousness, was a student of the humanities, and became an activist fighting for racial equality and civil rights. Ali also admired and publicly supported leaders of the movement who fought for these same ideals for blacks in the United States, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. He always used his media reach to denounce structural racism in American society in times of legally permitted segregation. That's until it began to greatly annoy the US authorities, who decided to punish him to stop this kind of behavior. That's why in 1967 he lost his world titles, but ironically it wasn't a defeat in the ring. After being summoned to present himself to the American Army to serve in the Vietnam War, he refused to fight. In a historical interview, Muhammad Ali made a strong statement that culminated in his punishment.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some darker people or some poor hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger. They never lynched me. They never put no dogs on me. They never robbed me of my nationality. raped and killed my mother and father. What I'm going to shoot them for what? How can I go shoot them? Them little poor little black people, little babies and children and women. How can I shoot them poor people? I would just take me to jail.
After that interview, Ali lost his belts, was banned from the sport for 3 years, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Fortunately, he was able to remain free on bail and had his sentence reviewed and overturned by the American Supreme Court at the end of 1970, being able to return to the rings. Muhammad Ali is an example of an ordinary person who became a real-life hero. He's shown in the rings expressing all his talents, but also committed to a deeper fight in favor of humanity. Ali used his professional success for a greater cause. Ali became a global symbol of resistance and courage, influencing not just athletes, but opinion leaders, politicians, and social activists as well. His legacy is recognized around the world, and his journey was remembered when Atlanta hosted the Olympic Games in 1996. Ali was chosen to light the Olympic cauldron at the opening ceremony. Even already quite debilitated by health, the former boxer fulfilled a mission amid applause and moved the world. Muhammad died in 2016 at the age of 74 due to complications from Parkinson's disease. His record boasted with extraordinary numbers, with 57 wins, 37 by knockout, and only 5 losses. When he passed away, Ali was honored by the biggest name in world sports, including Pele and Lewis Hamilton. The funeral in his hometown, Louisville, gathered thousands of fans. Actor Will Smith was among those carrying Ali's coffin. And we've also told the story of these 3 legends on our channel, in case you want to learn about other inspiring hero journeys as well. Ali also received a new tribute in 2001 with a documentary detailing his incredible life story, with Will Smith starring as Ali in the documentary. For us, it's an awesome story to share, and we humbly ask that if this content has added value to your journey, leave a like to reach more people. And if you want to receive the next episode of The Hero's Journey, please subscribe to our channel. That's all for today. I'll see you next time.